Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have the tape. We've got the video of Dante Thornton catching the whatever 65-yard touchdown. Oh, I should have muted it. We'll start it over now. This is going to be, guys, Gino winging it. No one within 5 yards of Dante, and he's just absolutely gone. He looks really good in the silver and black. I keep blasting the eardrums out. Playing that, I apologize. Welcome back. We got training camp day 2 padded practice to talk about. We've got some voicemails to listen to from you guys. This isn't going to be the live call-in show. That's going to be later in the week. But I do have an influx of voicemail questions that I want to get into. If you guys are like, what the heck is he talking about, voicemail questions? There's the phone number. You can call anytime, day or night, and leave a question that might be answered on the show, 725-253-0264. My last video that I posted about day 1 of padded practice got me over 130 subs on just one video. That's insane. Hit that subscribe button. It helps out so much. And you guys have been really pushing me to that 1,400. Could we get to it before the new league year? I don't know. That's a tall order, but we are pushing forward. Hit that sub button. Drop like, shop comments. So let's talk about day 2 padded practice. Because like I said, we might have videos dang near every day talking about this stuff. Now, we started out, it was an indoor practice. Interesting. Also, shout out to, I don't know if you guys saw this video here of Pete Carroll being the gunner when Ashen Genty was bringing punts back. You'll love to see it. And I have a lot of notes here about Pete Carroll's presser that should be very interesting. Why is Sky High trending? Are we getting a sequel? Oh, I'll have to look that up after I finish recording. But as you see here, my guy Ryan McFadden, who's tweeting all the time about the Raiders and what's going on in training camp, he didn't see Raheem Mostert out there. That's because Raheem Mostert just became a father. Right here, I saw him tweet about being a dad girl now. I'm assuming he's on dad duty. No doubt about it. Shout out to Raheem Mostert. So not a lot of stuff going on in terms of practice, but this was an interesting tweet. Geno Smith threw an interception to linebacker Devin White. This was after Geno also threw a touchdown to Dante Thornton over the middle of the field. So it was a touchdown to Dante first, and then after that, it was a pick to Devin. Now, the reason I want to highlight this in particular is because I've been hearing a lot of positivity out of the Devin White camp of it all. Now, I'm trying to find my notes here. I don't know if I have it prepared. Oh, it's because I'm searching. Okay, so I've got my notes here. The question was asked about Devin White and the linebacker room, and Pete Carroll said, look, the linebacker coach and Patrick Graham are going to have their work cut out for them in terms of who should start at that linebacker group, because we know Landon Roberts is the middle linebacker with the green dot, and as of right now, it feels like Devin White is that LB2, and Tommy Eichenberg and Jamal Adams are going to be on the field as well, because we know Jamal Adams is going to be that will linebacker now, which is just perfect for someone like him at his stage of the career. He'll easily be the best coverage linebacker. He'd be the worst coverage safety, but he's going to be the best coverage linebacker, so it's very smart for us to move him there. And then you got Tommy taking first-team reps. I believe he did yesterday. Now they're just mixing and matching. We'll talk about JPJ versus Jordan Meredith as well. But when they brought up Devin White in the press conference, Pete Carroll's eyes lit up, and he said these words exactly. Devin White is back. And he said, Devin White came up to me. I saw the fire in his eyes. He said, I'm all in. And if this guy, Devin White, can be 80%, 70% of what he was that All-Pro year of 2020, I believe that was the year he was an All-Pro, either All-Pro or Pro Bowler. He definitely was an All-Pro one of those years. That could be huge for us, because for the longest time we've had decent linebackers, right, like a Spillane or a Nick Morrow, but we haven't had like a truly great all-pro level impact player at that linebacker position. And you know what you're going to get with Landon, and you know what you're going to get to a lesser extent with Tommy Eichenberg. Devin White getting back to that all-pro form. Again, these are the things that have to happen in order for us to exceed expectations. Because as of right now, we are baseline 8-ish, 9-ish wins. But if a Dante Thornton can pop, if a Devin White can get back to supremacy at the linebacker position, that's how things flip on a dime. The next thing they talked about is Ashen Genty in the press conference. And the biggest compliment I think that Pete Carroll has given to Ashen Genty is that he compared him to Brock Bowers in terms of his natural ease at the running back position. Obviously, Brock Bowers' natural ease is at the tight end position. He said when he steps on the field and the ball's in his hands, everything comes so natural to him. We saw the film yesterday of him just torching, I think, Amari Gaynor. Was it Amari Gaynor? It was one of the Amaris. And he just had to grab Ashton because he went right by him running a route. And they said he is as advertised running the ball. He's more than advertised catching the ball, which was literally the one knock on Ashen Genty. Can he produce as a wide receiver in the National Football League from the running back position? And as of right now, all signs are pointing yes. They moved on to talk about Jack Bech a little. Jack Bech has been as impactful as Dante Thorne, just not in the same type of way. And they said specifically with Jack, he pops when the pads come on because he's a physical wide receiver. And I said as much. I think they're going to use him in that 12 personnel sometimes to be that extra blocking wide receiver. You've got Jacoby and Dante and Trey who are the playmakers, but you also need that guy that's going to stick his head in the dirt and make that key block for Ashen Genty or Raheem Mostert. And I was comparing Jack to Puka Nacua, not because I think that Jack Bech is going to have some all-time rookie season, but because Puka has great hands and is a great route runner. But one of the most underrated things about Puka is his physicality. And Jack Bech, who in college, this might not translate, you never know, great route runner, great hands, physicality. He's seeking physical contact. And that's not something that's going to pop when you don't have the pads on. Dante Thornton's speed and athleticism can pop in basketball shorts or it can pop with pads on. And it's been popping with both, obviously. How many times am I going to say pop? Jack Bech hasn't popped without the pads on yet, but as soon as he puts the pads on, you see why you drafted him in the second round. And we actually have a whole article that we're going to break down here that talks about Jack and Dante and how they're both ahead of schedule. The last thing that I want to talk about from the Pete Carroll press conference that Chip Kelly brought up, that Hondo brought up was Hondo asked him, what has been the most pleasant surprise thus far? And he said, Chip Kelly and Patrick Graham. Obviously, we know they're both great coordinators, but their ability to adjust on the fly, to play the adversary for the offense, if you're Patrick Graham, or adversary for the defense, if you're Chip Kelly, the way they're able to adapt their style of football to the players that we have on the field. I've said it a million times, but it's the opposite of the Josh McDaniels approach where it's like, you're a square peg and I will fit you into this round hole. Chip Kelly and Patrick Graham are like, no, we'll just outline the holes to fit your needs. And that is so important when you're trying to build a winning culture. How do you win? By any means necessary, not this specific way. And Pete Carroll saying that Chip Kelly and Patrick Graham have exceeded expectations. I mean, we know what PG can do. We know his floor is at least decent, and we know his ceiling is great. Chip Kelly, there were questions, but at least he's not leading the brigade, right? He's the offensive coordinator, and we saw what he can do with Will Howard and Judkins and Travion Henderson. So I have these two voicemails to get into that have to do with training camp, but before that, I'm going to get into this article that was posted yesterday, and it says... This is by Levi Edwards on Raiders.com. Rookie Raiders Jack Bech and Dante Thorne are quickly catching up to speed. So we're going to get into that. But before, I just wanted to remind you, hit that sub button. We're making a big swell push to 14,000. Also, Patreon.com/ALLaBorde Raiders. I mentioned yesterday that John was our newest member. And I said, who's going to join next? Carlos Raider 81 down here. He joined yesterday. Can we get a little bit of a streak going of somebody else joining the Patreon? These are my $5 executive producer, $5 and $10 Patreon members. You get your name at the end of the credits. You get exclusive content. You get ad-free content. You get videos days in advance. You get all that good stuff. Link will be in the description below, and it will be the pinned comment of this video if you want to join. Who's going to be the next John or Raider Carlos? Also, Discord, completely free. It's a big group chat amongst all of my subscribers and fans of the channel. Linked is in the description below. I'm in there talking all the time about fantasy football, about game day, about rumors, about everything. That'll be also in the same pinned comment with the Patreon link. Levi, what are we talking about? Let's see what he has to say. Dante Thornton Jr. and Jack Bech participated in their first practice on Monday, both coming away with touchdowns in impressive fashion. Thornton lined up against fellow rookie Darian Porter on the left side. His responsibility as the backside receiver was to run a deep corner route to the end zone. No easy task against Darian Porter, who shares similar physical attributes and the same 40-yard dash time. Here's a quote here from Thornton. I just felt like it was one of those plays where Geno took the matchup because it ended up being a one-on-one situation, and that's how it played out. I don't know if he's going to talk about it here, but apparently Geno said whenever it's one-on-one, you're getting the ball. Love to hear that. The 6'4" receiver got a step on Porter and about 20 yards off the line of scrimmage, and Smith dropped it in for a touchdown. While Smith is known for his ability to connect to the deep ball, it speaks volumes that the veteran quarterback has already taken an act of finding the rookie in those situations as their chemistry grows. I'm very confident in those one-on-one matchups, but I'm even more confident because I know Geno is going to take a shot with that, Thornton added. Like he tells me every single day, if you got a one-on-one matchup, here it is. I'm coming to you. So that lets me know that I've got to win every time I go one-on-one because he's going to throw me the ball. As for Besh, it was his second straight practice with a touchdown grab, both coming from Aiden O'Connell. Monday's grab was impressive, wrangling the ball away from a defender during a red zone period near the left side of the pylon. That's what we need him to do. Those in between the numbers, red zone targets, 3rd and 7, hands everywhere. That's where Jack Besh needs to thrive. It's all about just the scheme and what the coaches are talking about, Besh said, of one of his catches. Just being able to attack leverage, uncover the DB leverage, finding ways for the QB to get you a throwing window and to get you to make plays. While the Raiders selected 2 receivers this offseason, they already have been entrusted with in the offense in a high volume. Thornton has shared fellow first-team reps as wideout Trey Tucker, as a wideout with Trey Tucker throughout training camp. The 2 speedsters are working to take the top off the defense, not only for big games, but to open things up for Brock and Jacoby. Oh, I cannot wait for the season. Besh has taken on a similar role to Myers. That's exactly what I said from the very beginning, with his versatility allowing him to line up in multiple spots on the field. Some days you'll see me on the outside, some days you'll see me on the inside, some days you'll see me at both. Besh said, I know the Z and the A pretty well. Obviously, it's a lot of time studying the playbook. It's definitely you get what you put into it. All the hours you put into studying the playbook kind of starts showing out on the field. And I love that he's been studying. The rookie progress hasn't gone unnoticed by the cornerbacks who have to cover them a lot. They're both tremendous, Eric Stokes said. Tall, fast is Dante Thornton, who can really open up the field and all that stuff. And then Jack, he's all shifty and sure hands, Puka Nacua, especially crossing and coming across the middle of the field, Puka Nacua. I can't wait to see more of them, especially with the pads on, because, again, that's when you're really true. You really find out who you are. And that we've seen they're making plays. At the beginning of training camp, Pete Carroll made it clear he's not shying away from giving younger guys bigger roles on the team if warranted. This has ranked true for both Besh and Thornton as they've impressed with their earned opportunities. And while both try to earn permanent roles on the roster, they've opted to compete with each other as opposed to against each other. Love that. I would say from the moment we've all been here, we've been locked in, Thornton said of his relationship with Besh. And that's learning plays, talking about stuff off the field with life in general. That's definitely one of my guys for sure. He's a dog. He's going to run through anybody's face. I love this. God, I'm excited. That's one of my guys. We became that off the rip, just talking a lot, just talking about what we can do. Besh said in response, it's not only better ourselves, but better ourselves for the betterment of the team and how we're going to accomplish that. So it's been really good just having somebody coming in brand new with me to be able to learn. I don't know, man. What more could you ask for? Here's the thing. I get it. Like, the hype. But this is literally the best case scenario coming out of training camp, hearing what these people have to say about these rookies. Like, there's a world in which they're just like, yeah, rookies are making mistakes. It is what it is. And we'd still be saying, okay, only time will tell. Let's see. But these reporters don't have to say anything nice about these people, right? You can claim that some reporters are maybe more positive than others, but everybody's saying the same thing. Dante and Jack have been playing extremely well. And that was one of the positions I thought we would try to go get a Chris Godwin, which I think we tried to. Try to go get an Amari Cooper. Try to go get a Stephon Diggs. Instead, we put all our eggs in the rookie basket, aside for a Phillip Dorsett, right? Or Raheem Mostert's going to play a little slot wide receiver from time to time. And it seems to be paying off. The hype is one thing, but the reality of the situation is these guys have been better than advertised so far, or at least as advertised, which is massive. I guess the last thing I'll touch upon briefly before I get into these 2 voicemails is Jordan Meredith versus JPJ. I'll be honest. I don't have a dog in this fight. I feel like some people are trying to be dismissive of like, oh, come on, it's JPJ's job. It's like, I don't know. Sure, maybe. I think they're both splitting time right now. It seems like they're leaning JPJ, but if Jordan Meredith wins the job, that's pretty good because that means that JPJ, who is a good center, got beat out by someone who is better, and then JPJ can go play guard. Like, they're still going to both be on the line together. So I don't have much to say about that. I'm just curious to see what's going on there, and I love that everybody's competing. Again, you hear a lot that Aiden O'Connell's playing well. That's great because we need a good backup quarterback. All right, so let's get into these two voicemails, and then I think we'll call it a day for that.
Hey, Rodney, this is Swamp Donkey from your Discord server. I actually just wanted to mention the Trey Tucker thing. I just watched the day 2 of training camp video, and I don't think that he's going to end up beating out Thornton. When Thornton was at Oregon, I watched him play against BSU, and he runs routes just fine. Tennessee just didn't need him to do that, so doesn't surprise me at all. Thanks for the awesome content. Really enjoy watching your show. Keep it up, man. Cheers.
Cheers to you, Swamp Donkey. I feel weird calling you that, but that's what you said your name was. And he is in my Discord server. Join a Discord server. Trey Tucker. Now, here's what's getting lost in the sauce here. Trey Tucker's also having a good camp. Like, it looks like the wide receivers right now. I think Hondo said if the season started right now, it would be Jacoby Myers, Dante, Trey Tucker. And a lot of times you have 3 wide receiver sets. So Trey Tucker has been making plays. But I do think if you're talking bulk of the targets, who's going to get the ball more when the season starts? I don't know how you don't say it's Dante Thornton, right? I think Dante Thornton gets the bulk of the catches there. So, appreciate the call. Shout out to Swamp Donkey. Let's do one more, and then let's get the heck out of here.
Raiders. This is Raider Energy over here on the West Coast. Long time Oakland season ticket holder. I want to thank the show for putting out the piece on Derek Carr. I think it's about time someone spoke to that. And just keep up the good work and keep putting out that great content. Thanks. I really appreciate it as a longtime Raider fan. Thank you. Bye.
Shout out to Raider
Go
Energy.
Raiders.
Oh, go Raiders. Sorry, I talked over him. Shout out to Raider Energy. He's always calling in here. Yeah, I appreciate it. I worked hard on that video. I spent a couple hours coming up with the ideas and researching and editing that whole thing. I'm trying to do more Raider documentaries like that. And I saw some people saying, dude, you're running out of content. It's like, what? I don't even know why I brought that up. I shouldn't have brought that up, and I'm going to move on from it. I'm just trying to do different videos every now and again than your standard reporting on what's happening. And what's interesting is, of course, there's a war in the comments about Derek Carr sucked, Derek Carr was great. I actually didn't once in that video say Derek Carr is good or Derek Carr is bad. I just told you what happened while he was the starting quarterback. At the end of the day, he's fine. He was decent. I think he was better than Jimmy Garoppolo. And Jimmy Garoppolo was living in the playoffs in the Super Bowl when he was on the 49ers. And ultimately, that's my point that I was trying to make. That whole video was a thesis to show you that wins and losses are not a quarterback stat. And anyone that tells you that is just trying to be condescending or basic and saying oh, you don't think. It's I just use my eyeballs. Is Joe Burrow good or bad? He's really good. Was it his fault that they won 9 games last year? No, right? Is Jimmy Garoppolo good or bad? He's not that good. But they win a lot of games with him because they had one of the most stacked rosters of the last 10 years in San Francisco when he was on the team. Is Derek Carr good or bad? Yeah, he's okay. He's decent. Could he go to a Super Bowl? Sure. But not playing for a dysfunctional organization like the Las Vegas Raiders or the Oakland Raiders at the time. But now we've got some stability. I bet you Derek Carr would have been a lot better on a team like this with this defense and this offense than he was in 2018 when we stripped everything down. So I appreciate you, Raider Energy, reaching out to tell me that you like that video. I'm going to be doing a couple more like that sprinkled in every now and again. But like I said before, hit that like button, comment away. Shout out to my $5 and $10 patrons. 2 days in a row, we've shouted out new people. John the day before, Carlos today. Will there be a third? Link in the description below, and it is the pinned comment. And like I said, the last video that I posted got me, let's see what the update is here. Last I looked, it said I got 130 subscribers on one video, which I didn't think it was possible to get to 14 before the new season started. But, 160. That video got me 160 new subs as of right now. Guys, this is the time. We're going to be making videos as long as you want me to make them. Hit that subscribe button. It is free after all, no charge to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.